Hi everyone, welcome to Newegg TV. My name is Paul and this is the Cooler Master Storm Enforcer mid-tower computer case. So for starters here, let's do a rundown of the product specifications here on the side. This is an all-black computer chassis. You can see the dimensions right there as well as the weight. It will fit a micro ATX or a standard ATX motherboard. The case is made of steel, ABS plastic, and a mesh bezel. It has 4 exposed 5 1/4 inch drive bays, and one of them can be converted to a 3.5 inch drive bay. It has 6 hidden internal 3.5 inch drive bays, and as mentioned, that one extra that you can convert from the 5 1/4 inch bays. For 2.5 inch, there's 4 internal that can be converted from 3.5 inch bays. So you have slots there for the different types of hard drives that you might be installing. Input-output, we have 2 USB 3.0 ports on the front, and internal, I'm guessing, means it has an internal USB 3.0 connector. We'll confirm that once we open the box up, as well as 2 USB 2.0 ports, mic, and audio. On the front, you have a 200mm red LED fan, and you have on the rear you have a 120mm black fan, and on the top you have a space for an additional 200mm black fan. And then on the side you have again a space for a 120mm fan. Finally, for expansion slots, you have 7 plus 1 additional. That's for PCI Express or PCI expansion slots in the back. CPU cooler height is 175mm max, and video card length is 270mm max with the hard drive cage, or 390mm if you want to remove that hard drive cage. And before we open it up, just a quick look at the diagrams we have on the side here. Again, you can see the top 200mm fan that's optional, cable management here along the side, tool-free bays. We have a front 200mm red LED that's right behind that mesh bezel. This is a removable 2.5 inch hard drive cage down there at the bottom. There is dust filters on the bottom and front intakes, which is very nice to have. This is the Storm Guard additional PCI slot at the back, which allows you to route your cables through that, so you can route them through that and then plug them in, which will give you a little bit extra security, especially if you're taking this case on the go. Finally, down here we can see the removable hard drive cage, support for the 2 USB 3.0 ports, high-end gaming graphics cards as mentioned. You have plenty of length there for your high-end graphics cards, and the reinforced front door to protect your optical drives. And now it is time for the unboxing, where I actually remove this from the box and stop talking about specs outside the box and actually give you guys a look at the product itself. Alright, so the case is out of the box. Let me just remove some of this protective plastic. Also in the box here we have our Cooler Master Storm Enforcer product manual, which is pretty detailed. Includes information on the case itself as well as some tips on installation and whatnot. Also has parts lists, instructions for instance, removing the optical drive and that sort of thing. And again, this is... I have the light very close right now so you guys can get a good look at this. But for starters, actually let's start with the front right over here. And this is the reinforced, this is actually a plastic plate, but it is reinforced. It's nice, thick, durable plastic, but that covers up your front 5 1/4 inch bays there. Again, right behind this port you have a 200mm fan, and that has a red LED that lights up. Right up here on the top you can see your power button right there. I don't see an exposed reset switch. Oh, reset's right there, but you're going to need to poke it. Actually, no, I'm wrong. Okay, this is just a power switch that you got right up on top right there. These are your 2 blue USB 3.0 ports. USB 2.0 ports are the black ones. You have mic and headphone, as well as a hard drive activity light and a power on-off indicator. Aha, there is the reset switch. I apologize, it's hidden right there behind the base, so you can't accidentally hit that and reset your computer. Way up on top here, we have an exposed 200mm slot for installing an additional 200mm fan if you're so inclined to do that. You can also install 2 120mm fans there, or a dual 240mm water cooling radiator. So nice to have that option up on top. Let's a quick look at the opposite side of the case, pretty nondescript. On the back here we can see our panel here for our input-output shield. As mentioned, that 120mm fan on the back, 3 grommets for routing water cooling hoses. Our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 PCI slots right there at the back for your add-on cards, as well as this additional PCI slot, and that has the security system there, so you can route your cables through there if you're so inclined in order to protect some of your hardware. Finally, down here at the bottom is our power supply mount. And over here on this side, we have our opposite side panel, which does have a nice clear panel. There's some plastic protecting it on the inside, which is why it looks not so clear right now. Happy to say they've included thumb screws for the back panel here. And there, that looks much better without that protective plastic on it. All right, here is our box of accessories, and let's see what accessories they have included. I see our 3.5-inch drives mount on a rail system, so they have these rails here that you simply slot to the side of your 3.5-inch drives in order to mount them in any of these 3.5-inch drawers. Here's a baggie with accessories. They've included, looks like 8 or 10 zip ties right there. They've included a little speaker cable there, so you can plug that into your motherboard's speaker header and hear your post beeps. And finally, a little baggie with screws and motherboard standoffs. All the screws are black. Here we have, I'm guessing these are rails. Yes, they are. All right, so these are a couple adapter rails, so you can change one of these 5.25-inch drives up here to a 3.5-inch. You just mount those to the sides of the drive, and that converts it so you can slot it into one of those 5.5-inch bays. This is another adapter. This will allow you to install a 2.5-inch drive into one of your 3.5-inch bays. Here is, oh, they have a little standoff, actually adapter bolt right there, which is handy for mounting your standoffs, making sure they're nice and secure on there so you don't accidentally back them off when you're unscrewing your motherboard. This is, as mentioned, that cable management item that you can install in one of the PCI bays. You route your cables for your USB devices or whatever else through there and then plug them in. That way somebody can't come along if you're at a LAN party or something and steal your mouse or your keyboard or any of the other special peripherals that you have. All right, so there's a look at the inside of the case. This case has a very nice, completely painted interior, which gives it a very nice look. Let me get rid of this piece of cable right here. Twist tie, I should say. All right, so down here at the bottom is a small cage, so you can mount a couple 2.5-inch drives. Down over on this side, you can mount two 3.25-inch drives. This is a removable rack right here for installing additional 1, 2, 3, 4 3.5-inch drives. It is bolted on at the back, so I can't pull it out right there. But if you remove those bolts, you simply got to grab these two little prongs right here, and you can pull that out in order to remove that bay, and that will give you additional room for your video card if you're using one of those. Up here at the front, behind these bays, you can see your red LED fan as well as the plug for that. Here at the back, you can see our 120mm fan actually has a dual adapter bracket, so you can plug that into your motherboard, or they've included a Molex adapter, so you can plug it straight into your power supply. Up here at the top, you can see your 5.25-inch bays, and these all have an automatic locking system. When you slot the drive in, it locks in place, and then you simply push that little button to lock or unlock to mount your 5.25-inch drive. And then, of course, right here is our bundle of front panel connector cables. And I'm going to undo this just so I can tell real quick. Yes. Just to confirm, this is a USB 3.0 motherboard header, so you can actually plug your USB 3.0 ports on the front directly to the motherboard. No more pass-through cables to the back. Also, we have our USB header right there, HD audio, as well as our additional motherboard front panel connectors. Finally, I'd like to also mention that there is a pretty decent sized cutout right here. That is for the back panel of your motherboard. So if you have an aftermarket heatsink fan, you can install or remove that after the motherboard has been installed. And that pretty much wraps it up. Oh, I should mention there are several cable routing spaces right here at the bottom, as well as several up the side. And then all these little punch out marks right here, you can see you can route zip ties or twist ties to those to tie down your cables back behind the motherboard tray so you can have nice, tidy cable management. And that is going to wrap it up for today's unboxing and overview. Once again, this has been the Cooler Master Storm Enforcer Mid-Tower Gaming Case. My name is Paul with Newegg TV. If you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe to our Newegg YouTube channel. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time on Newegg TV.